Hello, and welcome to another episode of Menu Heroes Digest. Today is a special episode because it's a Jordan-led episode. I'm Steven, and...
Come on, boy!
There's your leader.
No time to wait, boy. We have stories to go through.
Alright, I'll let you take the reins.
This is Menu Heroes Digest, Episode 4, The Spectacular Sony Showcase and Friends. We begin our story with one of an epic battle between two mighty gods of the gaming industry, Apple and Epic Games. Long have they battled, and by long I mean they have waged war since August of 2020. Exactly, I think August 9th, I believe. Anyway, but it was this week there was finally a victor. One judge by the name of Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers has decreed that Epic Games is the winner of their year-long lawsuit. By which I mean they got one count correct, and the other points went right to Apple. But
who's counting?
Perhaps I should go. I'm not going to do the Kratos voice all night. I will lose my voice if I do that. So I'll just go into just a little bit of backstory between how did all this hullabaloo happen. So basically, back last year, Apple removed Fortnite from the iOS store after Epic offered its users discounts on V-Bucks if they purchased them outside of the Apple store. You know, because Epic Games, they gotta give 30% of their revenue to Apple just for having their things on their store. And it was just a big old but I want all the money, is what both these companies said. And so, ultimately, Epic ended up trying to sue Apple for antitrust laws and for obviously you can find trailers out there of Fortnite rebelling against Apple or rising up against the tyranny of Apple, which that commercial they did play is a parody of an old 80s Apple commercial of them rebelling against the tech giants of the 80s and everything. So it's just Apple became the very thing they thought to destroy, but I digress. Anyway, so the one point that Epic did gain victory on in terms of this big, massive lawsuit was that Apple cannot require in-app transactions to go through the App Store. Before, all developers had to give up 30% of their revenue to Apple, just to allow their stuff to be on their store. So basically all the other points though that Epic was trying to get for didn't quite go through. Because Apple themselves didn't violate any antitrust laws, and they don't need to allow Epic any other entities, any other developers freedom to create their own stores on the app platform. They can make their own, their own stores and everything. Apple is now required to allow Fortnite back on the App Store. And Apple denied Epic's request to release iOS version of Fortnite in South Korea, because recently it was a whole thing of it took a while for Google and all those other companies to get access to be able to sell stuff at or I guess they have been around, but to truly directly sell to customers in South Korea, that was going on for a while. But anyway, basically this all boils down to that Epic Games and other companies, they don't have to go to Apple and they don't have to give Apple the 30% revenue, but ultimately Apple doesn't have to put their stuff on their store. And a quote from Apple after the end of this whole lawsuit deal happened was that they would gladly let Fortnite back on the App Store, on their App Store, if Epic agrees to play by the same rules as everybody else's. And this law will take effect actually next year. Basically, Apple will no longer be able to require online purchases made in games or apps on Apple devices go through App Store. They must allow developers to redirect users to their own marketplaces for online purchases. So, I say in general, I think this is a win for other developers, especially for small developers, if they don't want to intentionally have to go directly to Google or have to go directly to Apple in order to sell their stuff or sell their products. But ultimately, it's still like it is Apple's app store. You know, you gotta pay the little fee to make sure they get their stuff on their app, and you get to keep their stuff on their app. And if you don't want to do it, then you just could leave. And we will most likely we'll see Epic Games probably make their own store or partner with some other company. But anyway, what's your thoughts on this, Steven?
So, thing with Apple is that you actually already have to pay to publish an app on their app store. The annual amount is $99. Which, for a company the size as Epic is small potatoes. Yep. But it's not like Apple is losing any money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they are losing money, but it's not going to hurt them in the long run.
Yeah. Nah, and it's just again, it's just this whole thing was two companies trying to play the big dog, trying to act like they were bigger and tougher, and the other guy got a bend. That's all this really was. This whole talk of Epic Games being a champion for all the developers out there, trying to be a voice for it. I mean, the CEO of Epic Games, Tim Sweeney, he did his whole quote about what I had here a moment ago. How did I miss it? Okay, yeah, this is on Tim Sweeney's Twitter. Today's ruling isn't a win for developers or for customers. Epic is fighting for fair competition amongst in-app payment methods and app stores for billions of customers. And kinda, but let's be real, you're doing this for yourselves. You didn't want to keep paying Apple the 30% revenue, so you decided to say, forget you guys, we're going home. And just instead of just doing that up front, you just decided to make a whole big deal about it,
Epic Games, why did you decide to sue Apple? I like money.
Hello, I like money.
All right. That's it for my thoughts on it.
Still there, Steven?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like the quality on your end is like dripping in and out. 1 minute I can hear you perfectly. The next minute I'm hearing static, or hearing like cracks in your audio, and I'm very concerned.
It's the storm that's moving in. Everything on my end though sounds pretty clear. Sometimes there'll be a slight crackle in yours, but for the most part it's crystal clear. And that's how it'll sound on the recording, so it's all good.
Okay, good. I just get a little worried here. Maintenance is very important, and keeping everybody safe and secure online is very important as well. This is not an ad for a VPN, guys, I swear. I'm leading into the next story here. Basically, Twitch, they're also one of the big companies out there, big, huge platform. A lot of people are trying to get their name out there, trying to just play games for fun, and everybody's trying to have a good time. Unfortunately, there are some people out there that don't want to have a good time. A lot of those people just want to hate, just want to be mean and terrible, especially towards anybody that isn't white or straight or cisgender or what have you. And this is becoming a real problem. This has been a problem for years, honestly. This hate raid stuff, where a lot of times you're on one stream and you're having fun, you're enjoying it. Then the next person's about to end their stream and they leak you to another stream where you can raid another person's stream. And the few times I've been involved with that have been fun, have been rather exciting, and obviously the person who just got raided, again, the good raid, not the hate raid, the good raid, that person was like, whoa, what is this? What's going on? I can't believe I'm getting all this. Oh, this person sent me a raid? Oh, thank you so much. And it's been just a fun, positive experience all around. Unfortunately, there's plenty of people on Twitch who have felt the exact opposite of a raid, who have felt, just belittled, slurred at, just harassed for any number of reason and everything. This has been a recurring problem. Yeah, especially it's gotten even worse around July and August, and finally, like the beginning of this month, September. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen videos about this, but a few YouTubers I follow have covered this on their channels about basically September 1st. Plenty of streamers were boycotting the whole. Just for a day, we're doing a Twitter blackout and just not streaming anything that day, just to prove a point to Twitch. Hey, we're tired of this. We are tired of just a bunch of people coming in and insulting us and sending us hateful, mean messages, while we're in the middle of a stream, and having to just cut out the whole the streaming, the whole message board thing off their screens entirely, because people are throwing awful obscenities on there and offensive languages on there. Yeah. And it clearly has shown to an effect, because that day, hashtag a day off Twitch, had shown to have Twitch, the entirety of Twitch had lost a fifth of its daily revenue and a daily streaming records and everything. So yeah, Twitch was saying they were losing money off this, and ultimately decided to finally on September 9th to file class action lawsuits against two anonymous individuals they believe to be organizing most of these raids. And these guys, has been banned multiple times, but Twitch is one of those sites where you get banned and you can just easily make another account without any consequences or anything stopping you. But they nailed it down, these two individuals. So they go by the news. Okay, they are mostly known as the usernames Cruise Control, and that's with 2 Z's. And this one I have a hard time saying. Creatine overdose. Creatine overdose. That one I'm not. Creatine overdose. Yeah. And that guy has been banned so many times, yet he tends to keep. They keep tending to pick very similar names, like Creatine returns, Creatine ban evades, Creatine reported, and it's like most of these guys, they don't organize the raids on Twitch themselves, because that would get them instantaneously banned. They organize these raids on Discord, on various the parts of Discord you don't want to go anywhere near. So anyway, Twitch had finally found these individuals, one to be somewhere in the Netherlands and the other possibly in Austria, and are just determined to seek them out, find out their real identities, and just sue them, to just find any way to prevent this further hate raids as possible. But obviously, these are not going to be the only hate raid organizers. These are not the only 2 hate raid organizers, and and this is definitely a good step forward. This is definitely Twitch is definitely doing more in the last month than YouTube has ever done when it comes to stuff like this. So I will give them credit for that. However, it's this seems to be only temporary issues. Other people on Twitch have pointed out, bringing up the idea of when you set up an account on Twitch, you've got to put in your phone number on there. That would certainly be a big help to reduce the amount of trolling and harassment accounts. Or if somebody were to keep doing that, you could ban them, and they would have no choice but to use their number if they want to create another account, which they will automatically be banned or not be allowed to make a new account. Anyway, that's my thoughts on. Well, I have. Well, anyway, any of your thoughts on this, Steven?
So, I'm kind of reminded of when people would call SWAT teams on streamers. This isn't as severe because people aren't being killed. At least, not that I've heard of. But someone in the comments makes a good point. Quite possibly the easiest solution would be to remove the feature. I mean, I understand that the raid feature helps, spread awareness of some Twitchers who might not otherwise be seen, but the cons kind of outweigh the pros. And that is what are your thoughts on that? Are you still there? Crap, I think we lost him. Okay, we're finally back. Oh my god. The internet...
Yeah, the storm really against us today.
Yeah. So, last thing I said that I think you heard was that they should remove the raid feature.
I did, and it's certainly something I have thought about. What you did say is there is more cons than pros. It's just that some of the pros I do wish could be used for something better. Or hopefully they can take the idea of raids to something that causes less problems. Or a more refined version of raids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Twitch, for now, drop raids. This is becoming more and more of a problem. You might want to get rid of it, and if you can fix it, great. If you can make something better than raids, even better. But right now, we're not having fun anymore, Twitch. That's the problem. And I want to go to Twitch to have fun.
Amen.
Yeah, so, any more thoughts on that?
No, I think we pretty much summed it up.
Surprise! We just got breaking news, Steven.
Oh, what is the breaking news?
Well, this little game that, probably had a few YouTubers talking, this Undertale or whatever, Overlamp, I can't even remember.
Overlamp?
By this guy, Toby. Yeah. Was it over? Yeah, that was the Overhead. That was the opposite of Undertale, wasn't it?
Oh, you mean...
Anyway, Toby Fox...
You mean Deltarune?
What? As a matter of fact, I am.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah! It's crazy, right? We've only got one chapter for the past few years. And to be fair, let me also clarify this. Toby Fox, guy certainly loves his craft, certainly wants to do more with Deltarune, but unfortunately he's had a lot of health problems over the years. You covered this much more on one of your episodes of Menu Heroes, I believe.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description of that episode.
Yeah, I'm the guy in the comments saying like, oh man, Toby first, the creator of Hunter x Hunter, now Toby Fox, what's the world coming to? Turns out the world was getting much worse. Because I think the episode that video you made premiered in 2019, I believe.
I don't remember exactly. I think it was it might have been 20. Yeah, I think it was 2019. No, 2020.
Yeah. Okay, so that was probably early 2020 then, because that was before we even were aware of the threat that was to come.
Yeah, I think it was early.
Yeah.
It feels like forever ago.
But oh, tell me about it. Again, that story I was covering about with Epic Games and Apple, like that felt like 5 years ago, honestly.
That was just like
that
was like 10 minutes
just
ago.
last year. Yeah. Well, I was talking about like the lawsuit itself, because I remember there being videos about that.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it was a long time. It was a while ago that we talked about it. So, but I'm saying, in terms of how time works now, it's bonkers. Okay, Steven? Let's agree to that.
It's bonkers.
Yeah. You know what's not bonkers is that coming in just a couple of days from now, no, actually tomorrow, is chapter 2 of the sequel to Undertale, Deltarune.
It's actually today, as of the release of this video.
Oh, I first saw September 17th, but great, awesome.
Well, this is releasing on the 17th.
It's very soon, Stephen. We'll just say that, because I'm seeing one date here. You're telling me another date here. It's like, well, technically speaking, it's happening, Stephen. We're getting chapter 2.
It's happening.
That should be something to celebrate. Yes, finally. Yeah. And by all means, Mr. Fox, my colleague Toby, you are allowed to take as many time as you want, to take as much sick days as you want to heal and everything. We all need time to heal. But at the same time, I am looking forward to this. I mean, you know me, Steven. I've been obsessed with Undertale, and all of theirs, like Toby Fox creations, everything. Like, I wanted Sans the skeleton for 2 years in a row for Halloween.
Oh God, do you remember
I had like a little.
Do you remember my costume that I made for that convention one year? Oh, that's terrifying.
Hey man, I trust me. I have had worse costumes. I've had costumes I've thrown at the last minute. I've had costumes where I put on makeup at the last minute, and I hope those pictures never float up today.
Here we go. Found them. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
I'm gonna look for my Sans one. But in the meantime, while that...
So yeah, both...
Go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in the meantime, while I look for
anyway,
it...
Deltarune... Yes. Deltarune is a much-anticipated follow-up to Toby Fox's award-winning indie RPG Undertale. The game follows the human Chris as they live and attend school in a town populated entirely by monsters. One day, Chris and the school bully, Susie, fall into an alternate reality known as the Dark World, as they task with restoring the light and bringing balance to the land. Along the way, they meet Ralsei and Lancer, two Darkeners who help and sometimes hinder Susie and Chris's quest. Unlike Undertale, Deltarune's release was broken up into installments, the first of which came out, on 2018.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a long time ago. That's the same year that Black Panther came out. Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's just, I remember stuff from 2018, but it feels like so long ago. Anyway, Fox wrote in an update on Deltarune's progress, sharing how game design considerations and health problems have slowed development, but that he is confident the next chapter of Deltarune would come soon. Now, a year after the announcement that coincided with Undertale's 5th anniversary, the next chapter of Deltarune is here. Alright. And as I said, this will be available for Mac and PC, so, as I said, it took a while for Undertale to get it available for console, so I'm sure the same thing will be for Deltarune. It may be until all the chapters are available that we'll get Deltarune on a console.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually pretty soon that we get it for console, because Deltarune Chapter 1 didn't take too long to arrive.
true, but also I feel like consoles like to prefer when everything's together. Bendy the Ink Machine, like it's available for consoles, but like it took a little while for it to, until they had all the chapters and everything set up and complete, until shortly afterwards they could finally put it available on consoles. So I just feel like the same thing was going to happen for Delta Rune, honestly.
That's fair. So, are you ready to move on to the main event?
I'm ready, Steven. You have no idea the level of anticipation, the amount of energy sparking through my very veins. Burn the fires of pandemonium!
Oh.
Yeah, we have really pumped up for PS5.
PS5.
Yeah.
So we completely
PlayStation 5.
We completely missed the PlayStation showcase last week, and Jordan feels
I am sorry. Yes, it is all my fault. Everything is my fault. And
I didn't mean it like that.
It's just like it. Well, that's how I feel inside, Stephen. Hey, look, we had a good show last week, but it really boggles the mind that we just did third episode. I was tired. I went to bed. I woke up, and several news outlets I check out said the top 5 most shocking things that happened at the Sony showcase, and I'm like, showcase? What? There've been trailers out? What? And yeah, last week it was all about like how crazy it is that several remakes for classic games are going to be available for the PS5, all the cool graphics going out, and sequels to things we've been so pumped up for. Like literally almost everything that Sony and PlayStation fans have been looking forward to has been announced and has been released, being developed for PS5. Still nothing on Infamous, but we can't have every winner. Now there's going to be a winner, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go ahead and that's where the rest of this episode's gonna be about, the massive Sony news and all the stuff that's coming out for PS5. And we're gonna start off a little light right here. I'd say Gran Turismo 7 looks good, but I imagine neither you and I are that pumped. I don't know, how pumped are you for a racing game that doesn't have Mario or Luigi, Steven?
So pumped.
In all fairness, if I am gonna play a racing game that isn't cartoonish or again doesn't have any of the Nintendo characters, I would say the Gran Turismo franchise is usually the most reliable in terms of quality and graphics for racing games.
Yeah, it does seem to fall into that category.
As I said, it is the real driving simulator, and I can believe that. If you ever want to feel like you're in a nice little Ferrari or some kind of cool sports car that just flew off the assembly line of some big Italian car company, this is the game for you.
Giuseppe's car dealership.
I mean, Gucci doesn't do cars, but you can imagine if it would. You can just imagine what a Gucci
Mamma mia, that's a spicy car.
Oh wahoo!
Oh wahoo!
Yes. So I just want to get that one out of the way. Also, we got, still Rockstar is just don't really have anything planned out, don't have anything set up. Just once again, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Fine. Yet again. No Bully 2, no Grand Theft Auto spin-off, no new anything, just Grand Theft Auto 5. That's it.
Oh, I forgot they made Bully. I used to like that game.
Yeah, Bully's great.
It feels kind of weird playing it as an adult.
Yeah, but also like I think that's what Rocksteady does so well. Not Rocksteady, but Rockstar. Sorry, I did not mean to mix those two game companies together. But yeah, I think the strength of Rockstar is that they take the things that you wouldn't think would be a compelling game, but like make them so engaging and find all kind of fun little twists to them. To where like again, they could announce a game set in like a space station, but they'd find some new way. Like obviously they make it feel realistic. Like you actually are moving around and doing all kinds of crazy things in that space station. But it was always what they would do and how much you and how immersive you could be in the worlds you were. And I do have to keep giving them that credit for that. But again, it's always depressing seeing that. They're not even all they have is Grand Theft Auto 5, and not even any expansions. They're just doing, hey, it's the same Grand Theft Auto 5 you had since back in 2013, and that's about it.
Yep.
Also, I should bring up. Now this says Radiohead. Does that mean the same Radiohead, the band, is teaming up with Epic Games for what looks to be a new horror game?
I want to say yes, because it says that it commemorates the coming of age of Radiohead's records, Kid A and Amnesiac. But as someone who has never knowingly listened to Radiohead, I haven't even watched this video, to be honest.
Well, you're a creep. You're a loser. What the hell are you doing here?
Oh my God, is that? I'm assuming that's.
Sorry.
I'm assuming that's one of their songs.
That is their most famous song, "Creep." It is. I used to listen to that all the time. Probably should have listened to it. I probably should have listened to it a few times less. I'm sure it had an effect on me. But hey, that was what I was into when I was a teenager. So. All right, which the idea of a band getting involved with other medias besides music is not too crazy. Gerard Way, who was the founder of My Chemical Romance, is the creator of the Umbrella Academy, both the comic and is like a producer for the show on Netflix, and both I think are great.
There's one game that I wanted to bring up because it was made by, I want to say, a TV personality. And it was insane. But I cannot, for the life of me, remember what it's called.
Alright, so I don't have the entire list of games that were announced on here, but I have most of them. I was going to cover each one individually. Is this TV personality Japanese? Is that what you're thinking about?
He is Japanese, yes.
Oh, he. Well, okay. So basically, I'd say one of the games that I've been really hyped for, I've been waiting to hear more news about, is Ghostwire Tokyo. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about one from like the 80s. But we can keep talking about the announcements, and if I've come across the game I'm thinking of, I'll let you know.
All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and mention my thoughts on Ghostwire Tokyo. Same creator as The Evil Within. But yeah, I'd say it looks to be, from what I've seen from this trailer in particular, it looks to be more action-oriented and doesn't seem as gruesome and or violent as Evil Within. That first game was pretty rough to get through, honestly. It had some interesting ideas to it, and certainly was scary, but it got pretty brutal. For a lot of it.
This one, Ghostwire Tokyo, looks to be a bit more accessible for most general audiences. I mean, obviously, it's probably still going to be M-rated from what I gather, but yeah, I'm just saying it's feeling more like an action horror game than a horror game that I was really thinking it was going to be. And I could have sworn this was the exact same game where you had the infamous like Japanese speaker coming out. She's like, everybody online was raving how super cute she was. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna love this new game. It's spooky, and I was getting pumped for it. I was loving the first trailer that came out for it as well. Again, nothing about it seems bad, and by all means, I'm sure it has some cool, creepy images, but I don't know. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed that it's a bit more action than I thought it was going to be. But that's because maybe I had a different idea for this game. Still want to give it a try. Visually, it still looks great, and there's certainly it's playing around with all the different kinds of ghosts that are found all throughout Japanese folklore, and I'm always excited for that.
Yeah, I've. Did
you have any thoughts on this, Steven?
Okay. I've actually never heard of this game before. It sounds interesting. I don't play a lot of horror games because I get spooked easily.
That sounds like me when I was 13. Then I was 14. I was like ready to explore, the creepier, scarier stuff out there. But there is one benefit that I did find out. You can pet dogs in the game. So if that helps you out, if that sways you to give it a try, you can pet dogs.
If I get a PS5, I might try it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like. Before we begin, I should tell the story of like how I'm pretty slow when it comes to getting new consoles. And it's probably gonna take me a long while before I get myself a PS5. But to give you an idea of how slow I am when getting into new consoles, is like I had gotten a PS4 a week before PS5 was announced.
Oof.
I'm pretty sure I announced to you. I'm pretty sure I reached out to you and the whole group, saying like, "Oh man, I finally got a PS4, guys. I know this pandemic and this whole like lockdown thing is scary, but hey, I got a PS4. I can probably catch up on games everybody's been recommending me to play." And then the next week it was Sony's finally announced their PS5. And I was sitting there, my controller saying, "Wow, great timing, Jordan."
Yeah, that's why I told you about the OLED Nintendo Switch and how it's, it's not a hardware advancement. It's not like a new system.
Yeah. But you never know. I might end up buying the Switch tomorrow, and 2 weeks from now, it'll be Nintendo has their brand new Switch Plus, Switch Ultra, and it'll have everything. It'll be all in 4K, and I'll be with my Switch saying, "Should have seen this one coming, Jordan."
Oh, I finally found that game I was talking about, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, I can't say the name, but it translates to the ultimate challenge from Beat Takashi. It was this.
Really? And that was okay.
It was a game made in 1986, developed by an entertainer, and that's what the Radiohead game reminded me of it. This game was nuts, man.
Okay. By all means, send me a link to maybe a trailer or something, or maybe some gameplay footage or something, if you can.
I'm gonna do that
because it sounds interesting. Yeah.
Anyway,
see, I kept thinking you were talking about something that was announced in the showcase last week about oh, they're doing a remake about an old 1980s game. And I was like, wow, I must have missed that. I don't see that anywhere.
No, sorry about that. I know it wasn't related, it's just... It was gonna bug me if I didn't find it.
Fair enough. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the 3 confirmed remakes going to be released on PS5. And we won't rush them, we'll give them enough time. But yeah, we have gotten the announcement of Uncharted 4 getting not only a PS5 remake, but also going to be a PC remake as well. So a little surprising that that Sony was willing to allow PC gamers a chance to play one of their exclusive titles. But all I can say about this is, I did get a chance to play the first Uncharted game just because I borrowed it from my cousin one time. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to finish it, but I got the basic idea of it. Modern day Indiana Jones. Okay, and the main guy, Nathan Drake, is sexy. Sure, I'm all for that. Thankfully, I've been looking up online that there's ways you can get the first 3 games, the Nathan Drake collection, available on PS4. So I probably will get that before this PS5 remake comes out, and get the full story and see what all I've been missing.
So, a clarification, and it's not really that important. It's actually a remaster. So, instead of building it up from the ground, which a remake would do, they're basically throwing a coat of paint on it and saying, "Oh, hey, look, remember this?" But that's not saying.
Well, excuse me, princess.
That's not to say don't be excited for it, because I know a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's something I need to try.
So yes. A remaster edition. Remaster editions for the first 3 are available on PS4, and Uncharted 4 will get a remastered edition for PS5.
I'm sorry.
We cool, Steven?
Yes, we're
no,
cool.
I'm glad you're. I'm glad you are here to correct me on this, but I have a big ego, okay? And you went after my ego, Steven.
And I was reminded that there's an Uncharted movie that's going to be coming out with Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. I also believe Mark Wahlberg is his mentor figure. They do talk about in the sequels, I believe.
Let me load this article in. Oh my god.
There's definitely, I know there's, I think in the third game they do get into Nathan Drake as a kid, and he has a mentor figure teaching him how to raid temples and steal stuff and everything. So I'm sure this movie is going to be mostly based on that.
Yep, you're right.
Where I'm thinking they're going.
Mark Wahlberg plays a treasure hunter who acts as a mentor to him.
Okay, all right.
You've been redeemed.
I am looking forward to it. Yeah. I know the word's good. Unfortunately, one of the remasters I gotta talk about that I know a lot of people were super excited about, but I didn't really have much experience is Alan Wake. Yeah, I think this game came out in 2010. So again, a really interesting mystery thriller thing that also composes of 6 different parts to it for the first game anyway, and it always looked interesting. It always sounded interesting. I just remember by the time when Alan Wake came out, there was another game that was trying to be a big murder mystery horror thriller game that was infamous for the wrong reasons, and that game was Deadly Premonitions. Do you remember that game, Steven?
It sounds vaguely familiar, but in 2010, I was that was what, 11 years ago? I was 11. So
yeah,
I didn't really follow gaming news at the time because I didn't have a computer or the newest systems. I had a Wii, which I guess was a newer system. but I wasn't a PlayStation or Xbox guy. I did have a PS2, but that was the extent.
Yeah. No, it's no problem there. Basically, I don't want to spoil Deadly Premonition because I do think you need to experience it, but it's basically like somehow if Twin Peaks, that old show from the 80s, was mixed in with The Room. I mean, like Tony Wiseau's The Room.
Oh
It's
no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Like it tries so hard to be deep, philosophical, and creepy, and mind blowing, and it just fails. Not just the characters fail, the mystery is so blah, and also like the main character is such a douche, and he acts so cool and important, and he just comes off as a weenie a lot of times, where he's just talking to himself. He puts his fingers to his ears like, Zach, I think I figured out the mystery and everything, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, I don't care if there's an invisible friend with you or there's a voice in your head. You just look stupid just doing that every
Oh
time.
my God.
And it's please look this game up, Stephen. It is a disaster.
I will look it up.
It is a disaster for all. Please, yes. So
Who knows? Maybe
I was preoccupied with that.
maybe I'll play it for my other channel.
I would love if that were to get a remaster. Just if they were to try and make that game make sense.
What if instead of a
But, yeah,
remaster, they do a demaster?
They make the game PS1 graphics just cause.
Oh my
That
God!
would make me so happy.
Resident Evil voice acting.
Oh man. Oh, it's okay. I'll be fair. Deadly Premonitions had slightly better acting than Resident Evil 1, but not by much. You had characters at least somewhat enunciate their words, and you kind of understood what they were feeling at the moment.
Hey,
But
don't diss
man,
it too hard. Resident Evil 1 gives me hope I can be a voice actor yet.
You're already better than that one character who's like, Jill, they bit me. Ouch. Just
Oh my God.
oh man.
All
God.
right.
Anyway, Alan Wake, looks interesting. Would be great to experience it firsthand and see what all the hubbub was about, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see walkthroughs of Daily Permission again, just to see how reminded of that crappy game.
All right, so let's go ahead and
Okay.
soldier on.
Yes. We will trend down the dark side here, Stephen. We will find our way back into the light with a game that I have played a lot at the Walmart, at the video game section at Walmart.
Oh wow.
This game, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, was a game that, like, obviously I loved Star Wars as a kid. That was like the premier big game that got a lot of hype and was critically and like commercially successful and was solely beloved by Star Wars fans. And if you know anything about Star Wars fans, we can get divided real easy. Just literally anything can really make us mad. But Knights of the Republic is one of those few things within that was added into the canon of Star Wars that I'd say 95% of Star Wars fandom loves and is super excited for this remake, for this remaster.
No.
Remastered.
This one is actually a remake.
Well,
yeah, they're remaking it from the ground up.
Don't I feel like a scruffy looking Nerf herder?
Oh my God. It's okay.
Yeah. It's hey, I need to take down a pig. I need to be humbled every once in a while, Steven. So this remake of Knights of the Republic is coming to PS5, which is very notable because this used to be a Xbox exclusive for a time. which is why I could only play it in the video game sections of Walmart and maybe Target as well when they used to do that. But we were always going to Walmart, and it was always the Walmart video game section I always wanted to go to, because that'd be my chance to experience games that I was never going to be able to get on my own, or I had to wait until Christmas to get those games.
So this was back when Microsoft had good exclusives?
Yes, Stephen. Back when, well, I'm sure Microsoft has always had a shady past, but it was probably back when not everybody knew all their skeletons, pretty much.
Although I guess they bought Bethesda, so Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be their exclusive. I know a lot of people...
All I gotta say is, hey, Knights of the Old Republic, great game. I'm looking forward to that, to really experience it all over again. And, Bethesda, they do good once in a while. I can't knock them for that.
I mean, it's not, not Bethesda making it, but I digress.
No, I just wanted to roll in both my thoughts for both the Star Wars game and for Bethesda all in one, because I'm lazy.
Understandable.
So anyway, about to reach 2 fantasy games coming out exclusive for PS5. One has gone a lot. I'd say both of them do have positive responses from people seeing the trailers and everything. But anyway, we're about to covering both the Square is this Square Enix? I don't know. Yeah, from Square Enix. It's coming from this new game, Forspoken. Pretty much, it's an Isekai. Let's be real here. It's you got this pretty much this New York, this 21-year-old New Yorker Fray, had a hard knock life. Got Ezekiel through this Holland tunnel and being traveled to the world of Athia and everything. And I will say, I do appreciate the attitude and the humor this character Fray brings to you just by the trailer alone. You haven't experienced any of the Danganronpa games, have you, Stephen? Haven't you, Stephen?
I have not. I know of them, but I have never played them.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best not to spoil a thing, but I will say the second game, the main character's attitude is very similar to this character Fray right here, and it gives me hope that Fray will just call people out on their crap and just not take anyone's BS, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that would certainly give this game a lot more fun and levity, because I don't know, okay, great visuals, yeah. Some of the spells this character's casting, it looks a little interesting and different, but I'm not gonna lie, it feels like so many other games that Square Enix has done before. Just gonna help make this more engaging. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Stephen?
Yeah, I get you. Square Enix has a hit and miss track record, I will say.
Understatement of the century, Stephen.
Well, but other than that, I'll go be honest, I haven't watched any of these trailers because I just got busy with school. I'm so sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine. I admit that I relied so heavily on getting your reactions just to help bounce off these, but again, you said this was supposed to be my episode, so my basic thought is, looks fine, loving the humor of it, but it's the unfortunate thing that isekais have been prevalent, not just in anime, but in other. It's been anime and video games that have been the most prevalent and even people who just casually just watch them, it just feels so overwhelming, you know. So here's hoping this one can have its own unique voice. And we will go ahead and moving on to one I'm more excited about, but just because like it's part of the Borderlands series, which kind of blew my mind. I mean, I had a feeling it was the same it's the same developing team as Borderlands, or the same group. Yeah, Gearbox Software. Tiny As Wonderland. And I said, you have not seen a trailer for this as well, so I'll give you a brief summary. It's about little girl named Tiny Tina. She's DMing her own fantasy game and has her own vision, her own ideas of all the different like fantasy characters, like orcs, elves, dragons, and what have you. But in her fantasy thing, she lets them have guns. Okay. And she breaks the fourth wall a few times, saying like, I don't care if it makes sense if guns shouldn't be in a fantasy world. It's my game. I'm gonna do whatever I want, whatever. And this one I'm pumped about. Granted, they did open the trailer off with a freaking baby metal music. Give me chocolate.
Oh my god.
So I'm already yes, big baby metal fan here, Steven, and this already had the perfect setting, the perfect tone for this trailer, and I am really pumped for this game. Like, I think the Borderlands series have all been hits. I think they've all been successful. They've all had the great balance of humor and also drama as well, but mostly humor. But still, I think the style and the feel of the whole world of it sounds fun. And granted, this is more of a spin-off, and you can tell like, this thing it's purely the imagination of a little girl who loves violence, and I gotta give this game support just for that. I will say though, it's kind of interesting that I've seen more positive reactions for Forspoken than this. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of negative responses towards Tiny Tina, but it's been most of the reaction I've seen has been like, "Oh, it looks fine," or "It should be okay," or mainly from people who haven't played a whole lot of Borderlands games or aren't that super excited about Borderlands games. But as for me, I'm pumped for this. I think this is right up my alley, and I'm definitely getting this game when it's available.
I have heard nothing but good things about Borderlands, and honestly, I'm probably going to pick it up soon for the Switch and try it out. And the fact that this is, like, you said it's basically a D&D campaign within the Borderlands universe. So it's a game inside of a game.
It's a little girl. Yes. And so the break the fourth wall thing makes sense.
That's so beautiful. That's like the best way to do a fourth wall break too.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, everything about this to me works. And yeah, like I would have thought this game would have gotten more hype and more excitement, but again, it's been positive reactions, but not on the level of the other Borderlands games. And I don't know, like, to me this works, or to me this got me really excited. If you could just give me just one moment, Steven, just pause real quick. I gotta recharge the computer just real quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, the next game I will briefly talk about because it's been talked about for quite a while now. Deathloop, I think visually looks great. I think the idea of it is cool. However, I kind of agree with everybody's sentiment that, they've been doing so many trailers for this game. Thankfully, it's out now. It just came out this weekend, and again, mostly positive reviews. I would definitely want to check this game out, but it's like there's nothing else to be said about that hasn't already been said. Or again, it's already going to be walkthroughs and let's plays about this game sometime this weekend, if not already. So we will jump right into the thing I have been looking forward to the most, or the thing that just blew my mind they were doing from Insomniac is not only Marvel's Spider-Man 2,
Woo!
but also Marvel's Wolverine. We're getting two Marvel games from Insomniac, and that is insane.
Insomniac makes such good Marvel games.
They do, and you know, it's just, oh my god! Like, I spent so many hours having just like swinging around and having fun as Spider-Man in their last game.
Yeah.
And
Didn't
you know,
they make
I also.
Sorry, didn't they make Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Sort of, but that is a different team on its own. And basically, you had some team from the original game helping out with this new team, but basically, the team that just finished Spider-Man Miles Morales is now going to go on to make Marvel's Wolverine.
Ooh.
You know, and again, all they showed was like a 1 minute, just actually I don't think it was a whole minute. It was like a 30-second little clip. And all it was just again, a guy in a bar just drinking. Like, clearly he just beat up a bunch of group of people, and then one guy just like crawls back up, carries like a switchblade knife, tries to run up towards the guy at the bar, and you get a focus in on the guy's fists, and of course they just shink, and he gets the Wolverine claws, and then you know, oh man, we're getting Wolverine, all right, awesome, you know, and even I felt Wolverine fatigue for years. You know, he's a cool X-Men character, but
he's overused.
I felt there's much more interesting. He is, and he is. Again, he's just not my least favorite X-Men character, but it's just the more they keep using him and the more they keep adding to his backstory about his tragic past and how long he's lived, I just keep rolling my eyes about it. But I will say that if anybody can make a good Wolverine game, it's Insomniac. I have full confidence in them and what they can do with that character. And you know that after they're done with that Wolverine game, you know there's bound to be some more X-Men, or bound to be a Marvel X-Men game, and that I will be so ready for. Just, oh, I want a good X-Men game. It's been so long since it's been a good X-Men game. Like, seriously, the X-Men game I could think of that I actually really enjoyed was like X-Men Apocalypse from back in like 2005, I think, 2004. Or maybe it was 2005, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. But anyway, certainly the clips they showed for Spider-Man 2 and for Wolverine, I definitely recommend you check them out, Steven. I highly recommend that you see them, because like, even though like they haven't confirmed any, like, you could just feel from the trailer like certain characters that will pop up in this new, or characters I do strongly believe will have a major play in this upcoming game. But there's been plenty of breakdowns. There's been plenty of other YouTube channels and other like blogs who have like speculated the possibility of what this new Spider-Man game could offer, and I'm all for it. I'm hopeful that at least some of that comes true.
Yeah, I'm honestly, it's a reason to get a PS5.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right, so we got one more game, right?
We do have the game. So come forth, boy. The game, the boy. You know, we have ourselves God of War Ragnarok.
Oh
and
my god.
Let me tell you something, Steven. You know, I do remember playing the first two God of War games. They were pretty bloody, they were pretty violent, and after a while, like, they really reveled in on their violence to where it was a little much for me. But surprisingly, well, of course it's Kratos. He is a super violent, crazy guy.
I remember playing
but
these games
surprisingly,
too.
when the last game came out, like just like what, 3 or 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Where they showed a more compassionate Kratos, or at the very least, you know, a guy who is trying to not be violent anymore, trying to be a good father figure to his new son, Atreus. You know, trying to be a good role model, and how they incorporated Kratos' story to the Norse gods, I thought was brilliant, and also visually, it all looked incredible. So the trailer does show, the new trailer for God of War Ragnarok shows even more great visuals and playing more with Norse mythology, and a little glimpse at potentially, our God of War version of Thor. Have you seen the pictures of this new, well-endowed Thor?
I have.
I am loving that this Thor is just unabashedly just showing off his gut.
Yeah, it's
like he shows no shame.
I mean, it fits
about his body.
It fits the Norse mythology, and it fits the fact that some of the strongest people in the world have guts.
Oh yeah.
And like, that's not just me as a fat person trying to feel better about myself, because I'm weak. I can be strong when I need to, but most of the time I'm weak and lazy. But like, all muscle is just fat. It's just redistributed.
Steven, the heart is a muscle too. I believe you have one of the strongest hearts out there.
Oh, my heart.
But yeah, certainly just again, another trailer you gotta check out, Steven. It is, man, it gets me super pumped up. And I just maybe wish I did finish up and check out the other God of War games, because I think right before we were doing this video, I did check out a video that's all about the history of Kratos and about his life. And surprisingly, he does go through an arc throughout all these games. Like if you were just experiencing the first two God of War games, you would thought he'd just be a bloody, violent, angry, just ballistic, barbarian, just going around killing gods and everything. But you see throughout the games, and even throughout some of the prequel games out there, that he is legitimately trying, he does give in to his anger and his rage, but you see an arc going through about a guy who knows he's violent tendencies, who knows who has trouble keeping up his anger, but is trying to quell that. And that last game that came out was him at his most calm or at his most at peace, but it constantly being thrusted into that violent life again. And again, seeing this new trailer feels like they were going deeper into that. I mean, I'd be scared for the boy if we do see that violent Kratos once again, and how he's going to react towards that. But that does tell you that this franchise and this team behind God of War, they have been more willing to take chances and try new things than I think you would have, because most people, when they have a hit successful franchise, they do have a tendency of like, well, this worked out and everybody's loving this, so let's keep doing more of that. And thankfully, I feel like this is a franchise that has learned to adapt and try new things and find success in that, and I am very thankful for that, and definitely looking forward to this new game.
Yeah. I need to play the first, the reboot for the the last one to come out. Because I played the originals forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they again, I know they came out when I was a teenager, so that was that nice sweet spot of like, oh yeah, violence, darkness, blood, vengeance, all that stuff that I was super into. I had to seek therapy for a while. I won't go more into my past anyway, but yeah, I feel like there is stuff from those original games that I think, does come as pretty edgelordy, does come off as, intentionally trying to be as dark and grim as possible. I mean, there's a few puzzles in that first God of War where you have to kill civilians in order to solve the puzzle. Like, they knew what they were doing. They knew they wanted this to be metal. And it comes out as childish nowadays, honestly.
Yeah.
So anyway, Steven, that is it. That's all the big announcements for the Sony Showcase 2021. Though, since you didn't see any trailers, you did kind of miss out on like the well, not the discourse, but on the weird like 5-minute intro for Sony Showcase where they showed these two companies. One company they're both playing chess. One guy's obviously the Black King, one guy's obviously the White King, and they have their agents and everything doing all kinds of missions all throughout the city and everything. And everybody in the chats and everybody was legitimately thinking this was a real game, or at least except for a game. And the joke was going around saying, have they finally released Chess 2? Oh man, we're finally getting Chess 2, guys!
Oh my god.
And like, it was so funny, and it was just, you just had to be there alive when it was going on, and I was laughing my butt off about it, and I had and deep down in the back of my mind as it was going on, this is probably just a commercial for the PS5. This is just a overbloated, expensive commercial for PS5, and there's no real gameplay, there's no real anything, and of course it was. Sometimes companies will do that, and it's like, you don't have to, okay? We are here at your showcase to see your products. We know you're just giving us commercials, so just give us the commercials for your games, and we'll get the console too. You know? But anyway, it was funny seeing the chat going crazy. Chess 2 confirmed! Chess 2 confirmed! Oh,
that's great.
Yeah, you just had to be there, man. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's about it. So unless there's any more breaking news coming out.
I haven't found any. I'm sure there is, but
well, if there is, you have to wait a whole other week, kids, boys and girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, this has been Jordan, and this has been
Steven.
Yes, this is Steven. Yes, I was trying to give you time to talk, but anyway, like, if you enjoy this video, subscribe now to to follow more Venue Heroes stuff. Hit the notification button. Give us a comment or two. You can do that. You can give more comments than likes. That's always allowed. But please keep it civil. Anyway, this has been Menu Heroes, and I'm here to sign you off with a special little song. To him, life is a great big bang up. Whenever there's a hang up, you'll find the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Till next time, stay cool.